and something starts, and when you bring people like this together, something happens, right? It was mentioned earlier. And the whole idea of the open innovation model is to make your boundaries semi-permeable, so different people, academia, public, private sector, research can work together, and their information sieves through these other ecosystems and enriches the platform, right? If I'm speaking Greek, let me break it down. All right, this is what happened. 2008, we needed a platform to disseminate information on what was going on the ground. But this platform did not exist, so there was a need right there. What we started out here was this entrepreneur, and then there was a need. The need was to build a platform whereby people could actually visualize what is going on in Kenya. And at the end of 2009, this is January, bloggers on the ground actually put out a tweet. Can we have a visualization? And we're calling developers around the world to build this platform. So we're bringing different talents, different innovative cultures together. And what happened is that one of the co-founders of Ushahidi, Ori Okolo, put this out. Eric Hersman from Ushahidi picked this up in Orlando, Florida, and then they got together. See, bringing different people around together. And they put out a call to developers worldwide and asked if they can build this platform. And the developers that built this platform were mainly from Africa and Kenya. So the journey starts there. You see, Kenya had all these fiber optic cables landing, people like Tange Demo coming into the ministry and pushing for the information bill. So there was a need to build an ecosystem to build up this technology entrepreneur. So in 2009, what Ushahidi did is that they got different people together and started talking to the different people to be part of this ecosystem. And we started from a community like this at events such as bar camps and mini tech events. Hey, do you want to be part of this ecosystem? We need to build the tech entrepreneurs. We need to give them a skill set. We need to give them a space whereby they can bring their ideas to life. We need to connect them with government so they can scale up their products and services. We need funders like VCs to come in and give them angel seed investment. We need VCs to come in. And we eventually started building a model. So the iHub is now 2 years old, and it's already set up in Nairobi, Kenya, on Gong Road, just opposite Uchumi. Where am I going with this story? Funders came. They came to Ushahidi. Omedia and Hivos gave a grant to Ushahidi to actually set up the iHub. And what has happened is that 2 years down the line, we have a community of 7,800 people. The thing is, we are building this tech ecosystem. There is need for such ecosystems, such as the iHub, to exist. We've created a research arm around the iHub to actually explain more about this ecosystem. So iHub research has actually studied the iHub model itself for the last 6 months, and we have created our own innovation model. And what I'm going to present right now is the model of the iHub. This is the iHub model. This is the first model that has been released. There are 22 hubs across Africa, but we as the iHub have documented our processes. iHub research has done this, and this is how we work. It first started out with the funders. I'll begin right here on this side. The community, the advisors, and the funders. And that's what I explained, is that we brought Kenyans together, meeting up at mini events like this, and then talking to each other. We were having brainstorm sessions like this. And eventually, Eric Hersman and the Ushahidi community, together with Omedia and Hivos, decided to take up the initiative and set up the iHub. So it begins with one. What does it begin with, ladies and gentlemen? One. Answer. Very simple. People, right? People was just mentioned here. People need to be part of this ecosystem. An ecosystem is dynamic. It's not static. It keeps on evolving. UC actually gave a definition of what an ecosystem is. People thrive on it. It needs to be that dynamic, energy flow. So community is that dynamism here. We need to keep going. But on top of community, you need the advisors. And Eric Hersman was talking to different people at that time in 2008 and 2009, and what we call the iHub advisors. On top of this, what is the theme of the Open Innovation Summit here, ladies and gentlemen? Leadership. You need to put good leadership to advise. Are we heading in the right direction? We can adhere to the needs of the community, but also we need clear guidance, right? Clear guidance on the way forward, and this is where the leadership comes in. The funders need to have, we need to have principles that align. Our principles aligned with Omidyar, they aligned with Hivos, they aligned with Ushaidi. The idea was to make the world a better place by giving people skill sets and environment where they could scale their innovations to the next generation, right? So the thing is, within this ecosystem, we can't just work with different kinds of people. We need to work with people that have the same kind of principles. We need to align on these principles. It's very important. You need to get it right at the beginning, and you need to make sure you have this synergy to work together. Otherwise, you realize one year down the line, person X is thinking this, person B is thinking this, and you go different ways. That is not the idea of open innovation. That's a closed model. So I'm just giving really concrete examples. And the design itself was, earlier you saw the design of the iHub space. That's the iHub space. And we actually got the community to design the space. We called upon the tech community and asked them, how do you want this? This space is just a blank canvas space, white. We began with a white space, and we asked community. Open innovation again. I'm defining a very complex model according to Henry Krasborough. That's what he has a very complex definition of what open innovation is. But for us, when you do it practically, it's very simple. You start with a canvas model, a white canvas model, and you ask community, what do you want this space to be like? Open space, good internet infrastructure, good bandwidth, great people to meet with, a great coffee shop, a good environment for meeting as well. So the space itself was designed by community. And then we worked with, and are working with the different corporates that also align with our principles. Our principles are technology, community, and innovation. Anything we do benefits the technology community. If it does not benefit the technology community, then we each go our way. We've been working with Nokia ever since the start of the iHub, and Nokia has seen that synergy, and they want to empower the community through the use of mobile phones by providing training onto their platform and disseminating these applications to the bottom of the pyramid. And this is how we're also working with them through the AmLab. The AmLab is actually on the same building, as the iHub on the 3rd floor. And we're also working with Nokia in that aspect. And there are various other corporate partners we're actually working with. Remember, when you're dealing with community, you need to understand their culture, and you need to understand their values. Remember, doing business in Estonia or Finland is not the same as doing business in East Africa. So over the last 2 years, we've actually, as research, we've actually got to understand the culture of the people we are dealing with, their values. What do the tech community want? What kind of training do they want? What kind of events do they want held? What kind of CEOs do they want coming to the space? It's very important. All right. What's really important, the iHub is more like a co-working space for the technology community, but also being part of this ecosystem, we need to be able to be sustainable. be abreast of this ecosystem and continue providing nutrients for what we call the organisms within this ecosystem. That's to build a better community, we need to have a sustainability strategy, right? And the sustainability strategy is that we have different initiatives around the iHub, such as we're setting up the research lab, which has been set up. We're setting up a super cluster computing environment, and we're also setting up a user experience lab. But apart from this being the sustainability strategy, we go back to this whole idea again of open innovation. Is it benefiting the community? Yes, it is benefiting the community. While it's making us sustainable, we still go back, and the underlying principle again, we go back. Is there benefit for the community if we set up a research arm? Yes, because we are providing them information and data which is not readily available or easily affordable to this community. Research reports are more than $5,000 US, and we as iHub Research make this available in terms of infographics and provide mini reports to the community. The supercluster computing environment, very expensive setups to have. It actually costs about $500,000 to set up a good supercluster computing environment. We have a lot of computer scientists. There are a lot of graduates within this iHub community members. Are we providing them as the iHub? Are we providing them with a platform to test their applications, which can actually scale? Yes, we are. We are just not setting up a superclustering computing environment just because we are the iHub, but we are setting up the environment for the good of the community. The user experience lab, there's great demand for product development research in East Africa, and a lot of the community members have really good products. You've heard success stories that have come out of the iHub. People like MFarm have been products of the iHub, and they've been incubated in the MLab. They've undergone user experience testing. People like Colaco, who actually incubated within the iHub and moved into the MLab, have now moved out into their own offices. Uhasibu, who has come out of the iHub, and they're all there, ladies and gentlemen, community members from the iHub who have been incubated in the MLab. These are all demands from our past members and members who are coming into the inflow of the iHub. And these are the kind of needs and gaps we are trying to address. So the whole idea here, the model here, and my story here is that for us to embrace open innovation, we need to assess the gaps. And when we fill these gaps, we need to make sure that we're just not filling the gaps because we're going to have an outcome of it. But the outcome is that I get a handshake from you, and you like that handshake. It's a mutual feeling. It's mutual. It's a symbiotic, again, ecosystem, symbiosis. It's a mutual benefit. For us, the iHub, we're willing to work with anyone here and everyone if it benefits the community. If you want something out of it, no. All right? So that's how open innovation works to us. And you can see it's one of our core values there, open innovation, right there. If you want to learn more about this report, we have a two-part report. We just released 2 parts of this report last month. It's available at research.ihub.co.ke. One is about the model, and one is about how the iHub has helped the entrepreneurs. This is a 20-page report. The other report is about a 50-page report. It expounds more on what I've just mentioned. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.